First, I started with this little book. Then I upgraded the size and went for this one. And this is from this year. I'm currently still working on this. And then this will be for next year. So yeah, let's talk about this. As you can already see on the title, you might be curious about like you're having planners but you're not planning. What's up with that? So let's just get that straight to the point of that. It's basically that I am chronically ill and it came like overnight. So before that, I was living a very productive life, as in very hustle culture, and planning every minute of my day. If I wasn't working, I was studying, I was working on something else, several projects, and making system out of systems and making notes about that system. You know, I was very obsessed. And it makes less sense to have a planner now that I'm unable to do all of that. But I started with Hobonichi because when I saw some YouTube videos about people who are filling in Hobonichi, yeah, there are a lot of people who are just using it as a planner, but there are also a lot of people who use it as a diary. And I have made a video about the loving the mundane and trying to learn myself how to appreciate the daily living, simply because if I'm laying in bed all day, it can get very dark if I don't actively try to remember what's great about everything around me, and that I'm still very, yeah, whatever. That I'm very lucky to be here, you know. No, so I already talked about the living in the mundane life and appreciating the smaller things in life, especially because if I lay in bed all day, it's very challenging to think about the things I'm grateful for. So I started to write down and turn it into an adventure where I can simply, dear diary, today I did this, and it can be just as simple as that. Using a planner instead of a diary, it is already predated, and it forces me to fill in every day. So it works for me at least. There are some days that I don't fill in every day. Let's see. So, like this, and that's okay. I can't say I fill in every single day because simply I don't have the energy for that. But since I love journaling, it really tells me that at that period of time when I'm unable to fill something in, it means that I'm physically or mentally incapable to fill it in, and that also sends a message for me when I see that. I like, oh, I was struggling around that time. So that's basically why I don't use it as a planner. It gets to the point that I'm actively preventing any sort of planning because have put in my worth into being productive, which is really frustrating if you're just trying to survive. I just want to live. I just want to live day by day at this point, because otherwise it gets hectic fast. It's really easy to get a burnout if your chronic health is inconsistent. And when you're able to do something, it doesn't really tell me that I can do that for every single day. It just says that I am able to do that at this moment. And if I were to plan ahead, that just is frustrating because, sometimes I can be sick for a couple of weeks. It doesn't make sense to plan ahead when my life is inconsistent. So that's basically it. So for the people who are curious, thank you for watching. For the rest of us, let's talk a bit more about Hobonichi and my planner systems and why I have grown from this small little fellow to a bigger one, and then 2 planners makes less sense from how I'm using this one, for example. Like, okay, so I was in love with the idea of Hobonichi, and I wanted to buy this one first. But I decided to pick a smaller one because, first of all, it's a big jump for me price wise, since I'm only buying sketchbooks. Like I buy €5 of sketchbooks, like or cheap journals. So I started with this one, and it's also because I'm not sure whether I would get overwhelmed by the size of it. So the line spacing is very small, and I already write small, so it fits. But it does mean that I get to write more, and I'm not sure whether it really suits me. Also, a recommendation, by the way, if you're still unclear. I was really surprised by the quality of the paper. I was surprised by how thin the paper is. I'm still am able to write smoothly, and there are tons of planners that can achieve the things that a Hobonichi can do. I just fell in this rabbit hole, and I really am enjoying it. I really enjoy the how yeah, I love the design, how it looks. So let's see. So this is the Hobonichi Techo, and it's an A6 size. And this is I was influenced especially by Coffee Monster's Co. So I bought her tabs, like that. These are telling the months and the yearly and the monthly pages. And I realized that it's not really for me. At least I'm not utilizing it. It looks cute, but I'm not utilizing it since I'm going day by day, and I don't use it as a reference to look back. Like, oh, I need to look back at February or March or whatever. And let me pick the less messier one. And on it's bit unclear, but on the Hobonichi itself, you can already see the lines of each month. I can't, of course, not really see at a glance which month it is, but if I wanted to, I can easily just, and it's color coded, so it's easy for me, anyways. Yeah, so that's that. So, what's in the Hobonichi? Let me see, let's just pick this one. It's like, yeah, because it's like the bigger border, and this is an A5, and I also love how it opens flat, and I really enjoy that. So this is the new one. This is the next year one. It has a year at a glance, what a lot of planners have. It has like a monthly year at a glance sort of, where you can see you can write something every day, like if you are scheduling for a long period of time. If you're scheduling far ahead, it can be very practical to see at a glance, like, oh, in a few months I have this project that I need to finish up. I'm not sure. But what people also tend to do is use it as a tracker. So they tend to write down the subject, and then they can, they can check whether they do that, and you can see for an entire year everything, which is cool. How will I use it? I haven't thought about this one because I have ignored it in my current one, because I don't feel like I need to force myself to use every single thing, especially the ones that remind me a bit too much about planning. And tracking is the same thing for me. If unless it has use for me, I don't feel like it's really encouraging me to do the things that I want to do, especially if I'm sick. With tracking, it feels more depressing, if anything. Like, oh, you've been sick for so long. So I don't need a reminder that I'm sick all the time. I already, when I get up, I notice that. So this is the monthlies, and the monthlies are, yeah, it's just a calendar. You can fill in appointments, dates, and you have space on the side here, and that's great. Oh, let me zoom in. And I love how the weekends are colored. How will I use it? Because we all know how a calendar works. So in my case, I think There are some there are so many cultures, so many holidays around the world. There are also like those unofficial ones, like Pancake Day. Did you know it's Pancake Day? And I want to be that kind of person and just make pancakes for that day. I want to write down everything that speaks to me, so the different cultures and such. And if it's like Earth Day, I can get out and walk in the woods if I'm able to, or just watch a documentary about nature. I can research or dive a bit into the culture and what they feel like doing, what they feel like doing on that day. Yeah, everything is in Japanese, but there are English ones. Just saying. This is a weekly pages, so this is where you can put in these are times. So you have 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. So yeah, you have the times here, and you can just write down the things that you have to do around that time. And it's great for when you have school schedule, which subjects you have. It can also be if you have extremely busy days where you can just line out what you need to do that day. It's you can also put in the most important things, subjects here. And the difference between this and Hobonichi Techo is that Techo doesn't have this section. It doesn't have this, so it looks thick, but this one has way more pages. So will I be using this? I'm unsure. I have tried it out several times. I still feel the urge to plan ahead. So for me, this book is actually really about the daily pages. So turning a page into a new year, it just means it's blank, and you can write down maybe the things you're hoping to do this year. Or you can do, some people do vision boards. They tend to stick their vision boards here. That's cute. You can. There's also a white blank page for every month, so you can write down everything you want to achieve that month. And let's see. For me, this is it. This is where the magic happens for me. A small detail is I love the moon cycles. You can see the moon cycles every day. It's pretty cute. Anyways, you have the date, and you could put in the tasks if you want to. And there are times here like 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. It jumps out 3 hours until it's 3 a.m. So you have, instead of entire page here, you have only this section. And there's a line here. This is all grid, but you can see a bit thicker line here, and it encourages people to write down their tasks and write down what they need to do that day. But in my case, and people who use it as a diary, they rearrange everything. If you make your own lines, this will be less clear to see. So it's basically a canvas ready to go. Here are quotes in Japanese. It's one of the reasons I bought the Japanese version. It's just to manifest learning the language one day, and then just being able to read the quotes. I just doing visual thinking, but you never know. So that's basically it. At the back page, there are some extra stuff. So this is blank, but it's just a few pages. What I tend to do is swatching. So if I were to use a new marker or new pen, I can test it out here. And then you have bonus stuff, a timetable. You can fill in a graph. You can write down your favorite stuff. You can have a top 100, like top books, top movies. You can write down, let's see, I think things food you enjoyed, entertainment you enjoyed, interactions or parties you enjoyed, or blank free space. So yeah, this is all bonus stuff. So this is a gift section where you can write for whom you want to give a present. It's all good. This is basically an Hobonichi. It's not that complicated stuff. What will I fill in this one? What I will fill in is, like my previous ones, my daily life, my daily living, the mundane life. What I tend to do is fill in the things that I'm thinking, reflecting about, the things that I enjoyed, or I will fill in prompts that also tells a story of who I am as a person, what I thought about at that time period. So maybe if I were to write it down this year and the same one next year, I might have different perspectives, stuff like that. It's very simple. I won't show you the layout simply because what I like to do is have a variation of layouts every single month. Zoom a bit out. For context, I was writing in this one first and then I went to the bigger size, but I was still using my other journals. So this is a sketchbook, Sakura sketchbook, and I started using Midori notebooks, which blew my mind. Oh, how great this is. I really love Midori books as well. And this is a normal size one, and so I was using this alongside this one, so I didn't feel like I was having not enough space. So when I went to the bigger one, it was very felt natural since I was used to filling in A5 pages. But I want to give you some context as to why it's why I was stalling buying the Hobonichi Weeks. So that's the next one we will be talking about. I wanted to buy Hobonichi Weeks from the get-go when I bought this one, and I chose not to since it doesn't have daily page, so I couldn't use it as a diary necessarily. This is really more focused on planning, in my opinion. So I didn't try to, and I still wanted to get used to this one. Then this year, I bought a Kinbor, and Kinbor, if you don't want to spend money on Hobonichi because of the high budget, Kinbor is a really great alternative. It has the same layout, a very similar layout. It almost looks one-on-one. There are some differences, of course, and you can notice it if you're really into the paper quality. But if you're really on the details and the nuance, but I tried out the Kimbo and it didn't work for me. But it is not the Weeks or the Kimbo's fault. The fault lies with me, partly. It was a bit of fortunate timing. So when I started with the bigger one, the Hobonichi cousin, I also upgraded my journal. So I still roll down alongside this one. And this one is a bit thicker than the normal one. So this is the normal size, and this is this is a daily page. So this has one page for every single day, and I was a bit enthusiastic. If I see the list, and these two were pretty big jump from only these two, and I wasn't writing in this every day. So it got a bit hectic. Then I was at a low point of my year, and I was also using the Kimbo just for my reading. So I was reading so many books. I could write down several books that I finished. But I also got a burnout from reading. So yeah, that's unfortunate to have a planner just for reading and then not being able to fill it in because I couldn't read anymore for a period of time. I'm still reading as of now, but it's not my main hobby anymore. So I wouldn't need a planner just for that. I still went out to buy a Hobonichi Weeks anyways. Okay, partly because this is a bit of an impulsive purchase. I was in love with the design And I also bought this little journal for my solo role playing. So I was really enthusiastic about this. But I decided to buy it because I wanted to have this for 2 years as of now, and I was already trying with the Kimbo. So what I decided to do is just simply try it out and using a different system that works for me right now. And I also saw one thing that also put me over the edge of trying it out. In the D&D space, you have dungeons and delves, and where you have a room, and there are maybe traps, enemies, or challenges, and you will navigate through the room, and you will explain your you will explain your adventure. And not gonna lie, I don't have much experience with this, so I'm not sure how this really works. But I saw someone trying an everyday dungeon in a Hobonichi weeks, and I was intrigued. Like, oh, you can use D&D for Hobonichi? Oh, and I was a bit tempted. I decided to not do solely that because simply because first of all I don't have the experience and I'm not sure whether I like it. Secondly, I saw people who have done this challenge not being able to finish it. It's very rare that people are able to finish an entire year of, to the point that I don't see a lot of people, but I remember seeing one person who has done it, and not on a Hobonichi, but in their note in their journal, and they made a book out of it. They did a Kickstarter, I think. So it's that cool to have to create something out of dungeons. So I thought it was fascinating that you can use play into a planner instead of just a diary. Will I be doing that? As I said, I'm not sure. I won't be doing that every single week. I might do it once in a while. So my focus for this one is more of a celebration of the